Hello everybody, and welcome once again to another episode of 1/35th Scale Figures in Review. I've done a couple of different things for my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get a new app on my phone to work that takes better pictures, but the audio doesn't work so good. So this is like the third video attempt I've had to try to get this out over our new review today. And the second thing is I've also changed my YouTube channel's name just a little bit. Instead of saying 35th scale figures in review, it's 1/35th scale figures in review. That way, if anybody does a search engine on YouTube, they'll be able to pick things up a little bit quicker. So hey, right now though, let's go ahead and talk about the new review we have going on. And this is about the Ammo of Megs Flesh Tone paint set. This is a 6-bottle set that's very good. The paints are all acrylic, of course. Inside the ammo bottles, they have a little BB that'll help move the paint around for you to make sure it gets mixed up fairly well. Okay, the paints are very good, very highly pigmented, and of course when you thin them with water they work just fine. Okay, so this is a very good 6-bottle set. That means you don't have to do a whole lot of mixing with your paints, but of course you can if you choose to do that. All right, I'd like to thank Dave Youngquist at lastcavalry.com for sending me this paint set, and stop by Last Cavalry to pick up anything if you're a figure painter. Very good selection of all different kinds of things. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that ball rolling, and we'll run this review of Ammo of Megs Flesh Tone paint set. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get started with our next portion of our video review, and this is the actual look and working of the paint itself. Okay, here are your 6 paints that come with the Ammo of Meg Flesh Tone set. Okay, the first one is going to be your light skin tone, which is this right here. Okay, your basic skin tone, okay, which is right here. All right, your warm skin tone, which is the third in. Okay, this is the burnt sand color, which is right here. This is the red leather paint sample right here. And this is the red, the burnt brown red right here. Now, just so you understand, these paints are not set up in necessarily this order. In other words, you don't start with the light skin tone and work your way down. You can move around. You can if you try to do that, but it's up to you as the individual painter how you want to handle that. Okay, I'll show you how I worked my the headset that I used, and I'll show you how I applied these paints accordingly. Now, these are very good paints. They are highly pigmented. They're pretty thick, but of course with all acrylics we want to be able to thin them. Okay, I've used my wet palette, and I've made this one as per Calvin Tan would do. I have my sponge underneath. I applied my paper towel underneath here, and this is parchment paper. This is something you can pick up from a grocery store. This is something you might pick up from a Walmart, from a Target, any place like this. And this works just fine as the working surface of your wet palette. Off to the side over here, I have my glass that has my water in it, and also my rinsing water right here. These are my paint brushes that I'm going to be using. Okay, this first one is a number 1 paintbrush by Flexfile. Okay, this is for applying base sets to. Okay, my second one, and these are all Winsor Newton Series 7. This is my 0 paintbrush, for a little bit bigger, a little bit broader, but still very fine tipped brushes. Okay, this is my 00 Winsor Newton brush. Okay, that's used for finer lines. Okay, and then last but by far not least is my 000 Winsor Newton. This will create a super fine line, and this is perfect for creating heavy details, you know, like underneath the eye bag where you want to highlight and outline where the eye set goes, inside the eyes, things like this. So these brushes are invaluable. This is what you need to do. If nothing else, invest in solid brushes, and the Winsor Newton Series 7 brushes are very, very good. Okay, so right now I'm just going to show you, I'm going to go through the different paints and show you how basically you can thin them and what they look like when they're thinned. So of course with any acrylic, I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush. Okay, you always work with an acrylic. You want to work with a damp brush, but I'm going to go ahead and have it a little bit heavier just to show you what it's like as the paints get worked and as they're thinned. This is the light skin tone that we have right here. Okay, and as I work the paint in here and get it thinned out, you'll notice that it does a very good job of being thinned. Okay, it doesn't lose any consistency with it. It becomes very thin, becomes pliable, and then here's the line that you'll have as you paint that. Okay, I'm going to rinse this one off here. Okay, go to my napkin, and now I'm going to go to your basic skin tone set. Okay, that's this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it down. Okay, I'll get it mixed up fairly well, get it thinned out pretty good. Once again, go back and get my water to it. Okay, and then here you go. Once again, does a great job of thinning. Okay, it stays very consistent. Of course, when you thin it, that's what you want to be able to have, and there's that line as it's painted. Rinse this one out here in my rinse bowl. Okay, come back with another fresh batch of water and go to the warm skin tone. Okay, that's this right here. Now, this is what I used as the base paint on my headset from Hornet. Okay, a lot of people use different types of base coats. This is what I use in this particular set. And the entire head that I had painted, okay, is by using only these 6 paints. Okay, I didn't use any other paints that would not be used in this set. So just to see how this set, it worked in its entity by itself. Okay, now this is the burnt sand. This is going to be your first shadow. Okay, this would be like, oh, underneath the chin, okay, down below the chin line, okay, showing where your cheekbones, or excuse me, the cheek depressions might be, okay, in the upper eye sockets and things like this. Okay, that's what this is. All right, it does a great job of creating those nice little shadows. Okay, then when I come over here, this is the red leather. Okay, now when you mix this paint up and get it highly thinned out, okay, this is what I used for the overcoat in different layers. Okay, it gives the pinkish, I guess, a little bit of color and kind of blends in your layers of your acrylics. And remember, when you're working with acrylics, it's all about layers. Okay, it's all about those nice thin layers, and that's how that one looks when it's applied. And then lastly, okay, we'll come over here, and this is your burnt red brown. This once again is a darker shadow. This is what I used, and I used my my 000 brush to go underneath the eyes and create it where the eye bag is, to highlight that a little bit. Okay, up above. Also, you can put this inside the ears. Okay, and that would create a deeper shadow, and that's what that looks like right there. Okay, now for mixing purposes, these paints are once again very, very good. Okay, I'm going to show you what you can do. Okay, I'm going to take this, which is basically my warm skin tone. Okay, put it right there. Okay, rinse this off a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply and mix together the burnt sand. And I put it right here. Okay, go ahead and get my dose of water. And here you see what it looks like when you get mixed. And they mix together very, very well. Okay, once again, it's a little bit of a thicker paint, okay, which is really good as far as creating consistency, but also you need to make sure you get these thinned out as best you can. Okay, and there's what it looks like when it gets mixed. Okay, very, very good. Okay, once again, the consistency, and I'll come like this, come across the top of that as it's mixed, the 2 paints, and you can mix any of them. Once again, as you get practiced in this, this is what you would be able to do with any acrylic paints, but with these ammo paints, okay, being as highly pigmented and thicker that they will mix together outstandingly. And so there you go. You can create whatever shade you want to create. And that's the end of it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You can just use the 6 like I did, okay, or you can start mixing and matching a little bit to achieve the tone that you want. Okay, now I'm going to show you what my figure looked like if I can get zoomed in on him, as I should be able to, and this is what I did for my face. Okay, as I can get zoomed in on this right here, the auto lock. Okay, and there we go. All right, this is what he would look like, okay, as we start working the paints. And here he is. Okay, you'll see the highlight that I put on his nose, which is coming right here. All right, okay, you'll see as I move over here the eye bag that I had there. If I can get my light a little bit better on him right here, there you go. Okay, you'll see where I use that dark burnt red brown would create a little bit of a shade for the eye bag. Okay, on that side too. You'll notice on this side I was able to create a little bit of a deeper shadow, okay, going down below his cheekbone. But then on his cheekbones, on his nose, on his chin, okay, that's where I put the light skin tone and also the basic skin tone to be able to highlight those colors. Okay, and so, and what the final touch was, I took the red leather color and highly diluted it and began going over the headset. Okay, so he would achieve the proper tone that I would have liked to have had. Okay, and so that's what he looks like. And this is one of the Hornet heads I'm going to be doing a review for in a couple weeks from Roger Sanders. He gave me some samples to work on. Okay, these are bear heads and they're outstanding figures. They take paint very, very well, and it's like they're just begging to be painted, which of course with the ammo set we did. All right, and it worked out very, very well. So there you have it for this episode of 1/35 scale figures in review. Okay, subscribe if you like what you see. I appreciate everybody tuning back in. So until next time, we'll see you folks.